Welcome back everyone for another video. Today we're going to go over my Alphamon deck list that I used yesterday at our local store championship to secure myself a Nationals invite because I got undefeated first place. This is a very powerful deck, what I believe to be the best deck in the format. I have a really solid build for it, so let's get right into it. If you're just interested in the deck list, we're going to bring it up right now. This is the list in its entirety and all the card choices I've made. If you want to hear my in-depth description, just continue on in the video. If not, here's the list, take a screenshot and enjoy. Anyway, let's get started. Really quick before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to my friend. She goes by Silver Feathers. She did this awesome custom art for this mat, so if you have any cool ideas, she will do commissions and makes really awesome custom art. Anyway, let's get started with the list. For Doraemon, this is our best egg. It's the only egg we want to play. It draws us extra cards when we're going for plays. It just helps us cycle through our deck, assemble combo pieces. Next up, we play 10 rookies. We're playing 4 of this Dorumon, 4 Ryudomon, and then 4 of the new Dorumon. This Dorumon's the best one. It's a searcher, but most of the time we want to use it for the inheritable, but it's also a backup as a searcher, which is good. This is mostly just extra searcher. Searching is better than drawing, but then drawing is also good. Pretty self-explanatory. 10 rookies is the standard ratio for this deck right now. And we'll go over why at the end of the profile. Then we play 4 Dorugumon and 4 Dex Dorugumon. Dorugumon is really solid. Generally, it's what we want to build in our raising area, but its really beneficial effect is the Dex Dorugumon, allowing it to accelerate our plays. This card is super crucial for our deck. One of the big reasons our deck is really strong is because this card is just so good with this card. Basically giving us 2 extra memory with this and Cool Boy. And then our last level 4 is the 1 hybrid game, pretty self-explanatory. Next up, we have 7 level 5s. We have 4 Dora Greymon, 3 Dex Dora Greymon. You could up this to 4 or play as little as 2. I just thought 3 was a solid number. You really want to see it once or twice a game to try and eliminate those memory blockers that are getting in your way, or some blockers and stuff like that. And then Dora Greymon, it's one of the strongest cards in the deck. It triggers our placing cards in our source inherit effects, like Dorumon and Doraemon. And it gives us extra security attack to help us get more damage, and it protects us from a lot of destruction, which is one of the reasons the deck is so strong, is that it's just so invulnerable to a lot of threats. When we go for our big play, we can normally go from level 4 to level 7 without passing turn, but sometimes we also just want to build this in raising area as our backup plan. It's just an all-around great card, and this one works really well with it. It also gives us additional Cool Boy interactions if we can't have the other one combo going. Next, we play 6 level 6s. We play 3 Alphamon and 3 Oriyumon. These are really strong. Oriyumon allows us to get the double swing in our combo. Alphamon lets us grab the Oriyumon. The DDG evolve is helpful, especially against decks like Armor, or any decks with the blocker that's evolved over something. Helps us clear the way for our big swings. Oriyumon is also sometimes nice as a hard digivolve because the deletion effect does come up. There was a play in my tournament where it was the last turn. I really had to make a hard decision against a Grandis player, and I had to basically use this to wipe his board and pass the turn on the Oryukin without actually giving up the turn. A really good card, really good. You basically are just always trying to discard this, go for this, but sometimes this is a good backup plan. Finally, we have our boss monster, very self-explanatory. 3 Alphamon Oryukin. Alphamon Oryukin is a crazy card, gains us a ton of memory. It's basically the Lilith Loop combo in one card. And we get to do like a million checks with it because of all of our inheritables. This card is just crazy, especially because we can digivolve it for 3 and still get a pop. And like at our own turn, do multiple swings and stuff. 3, I think, is a good number to always see it, but never brick on it too much. Although it does get bricky a little bit, so we want to bump it to 4. Some people play 2. I still think 3 is just a good number to always see it, especially since some can end up in our security. That's it for our Digimon. We do not play the BT6 Alphamon. It is a solid card, but I just wanted to go max consistency. It's generally better against decks with smaller security, which allows us to get multiple swings and more memory. But we generally don't really need it that much, and it doesn't grab the Oriyumon from our trash. So I just go max consistency and hope that carries me through the tournament. Next, we're playing our Tamers. We have 4 Cool Boy and 4 Yuji. We're not playing Kota. Kota is still a good option. I was testing it for a while, but for this tournament, I just ran with the 4 and 4. This is the best card in our deck. Cool Boy searches everything and also gains additional memory. So the more Cool Boys we have set up, the better setup we are to win any game. And then Yuji also helps us get more memory and set up game-winning plays. It also is the card that allows us to get to the true OTK, allowing us to put extra security attack or extra Oriyumons into our source, to delete our opponent's security and win in one turn. Then we have 3 memory boosts. I'd say the third is a flex slot. You can run, I'd say 2 to 4 of this card in the deck, but not any less. Extra searching is really good in this deck, and the memory boost is really strong when we're going for our plays, because we sometimes need just that extra little bit of memory to go off. Essentially, you need 2 or 3 cards, like I'd say setup cards, which would be like our tamers and our memory boost, to go for our plays efficiently and allow us to truly get our 1-stack OTK, or at least close to winning condition. Next up, 2 Congo. Congo is really, really strong. Good card overall. Stops aggressive plays, but also you have to remember, if you're playing against something like Alphamon or Security Control, the can't return to security stack effect is really relevant against those decks because it prevents us from losing the Chaos Degrade. Just overall excellent card. I don't even know why it has it. It's just extra on top of how good it is. Next, 1 Breath of the Gods. This didn't really come up in my tournament specifically, but it's there because of the Mega Deaths and the Beelstar matchup. It's pretty strong, but it is a little risky, and those matchups aren't always what we go up against, and it's kind of bricky otherwise. Our last card is 1X Antibody. I was trying this out for this tournament. I really liked it, but it felt middling. Like it's definitely an easily cuttable card. Essentially, you use it to get an extra 2 memory when you're going for your Alphamon plays, because putting it into our stack allows us to swing, get our Oriyomon unsuspend, go into our Oryukin on the same play, but then also we can send this and the Oriyomon back, so it gets us 2 extra memory on that play. Also, sometimes if we need to accelerate into a level 6 and we're being choked or whatever, it's good for that as well. Otherwise, it's just an alright card. It can trigger our inheritables as well. So that's it for the list. Let's go over some quick decision points I want to go over. So one of the reasons I want to explain is that this deck can play so little rookies is that you don't need to play that many rookies. Playing these cards along with our 10 rookies all effectively work as our 10 rookies. So this essentially gives us 17 rookies to work with, because these all start our turn. We can be happy starting the game with any of these cards. Any of our 10 rookies, any of our cool boys, any of our memory boosts, they all start the game for us. And we will spend the same amount of memory, because most games, we're not bringing out our level 4 from our raising area immediately, and because of that, there's no extra advantage except for the card draw 1 turn earlier to having a rookie. So that's why this deck gets away with such small ratios. It's just the extra search power from all of these essentially adds up to 17 rookies, even though I'm actually playing 10. It functions as a higher number because these can search out the rookies for us. Then I want to go over some quick tech slots. So if you wanted to change up the deck, X Antibody, Breath of the Gods, I'd say you should play 1 Congo, but technically both Congos are also tech slots, so you don't need them for every matchup. And the Dorogreymon, and even the Hybrid for game. All of these I would say are considered to be tech slots. You can fit in more Chumons to stop memory, more copies of any of these cards, the old Alphamon. Some people cut the 3rd Oryukin for BT6 Alphamon. All of these slots are open, but most of the time they're for more copies of these cards already, though. So you can play more Breath of the Gods, less Congo, more Dexter Gray to answer memory blockers. You want to play more X Antibody, you'll only play 1 in the deck, but sometimes you can play more hybrids. Another option I've seen is people playing the Ginryumon that always gives inheritable blocker, but generally I feel like that's unnecessary. And then you can also cut like maybe a Yuji and one of these cards for 2 Kotas. Kota memory getters are good. I was just trying without, and a lot of times if you're playing smart, you don't really need the memory setter, especially since Yuji helps you gain that extra memory, and so does the Cool Boy. And that's it. This deck is super powerful. Definitely the best deck of the format. One of the things that makes this deck so strong is with Breath of Gods and Congo and Dorogreymon, you basically get to counter your counters, which is why it's, I think, the best deck, is that it does have things that counter and beat it, but it also has answers to the things that counter and beat it, so it has game versus literally any deck and doesn't really have any bad matchups, except for maybe Beelstarmon once they set up, but Beelstarmon also has the problem that it could break. So, anyway, that's the list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Build it yourself, win some games, make some own textures of your own. Anyway, you guys all have a good one. Peace out.